What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see here, we got a nice haircut. You guys in the comments have been giving me crap about not having a haircut. We got a haircut. We got all trimmed up. We got looking good. So we got a big day. We have a big day. Mark's gonna be coming by. He's gonna be giving us a hand. We're gonna be putting the bed back on the 05 today. We got boxes here, there, everywhere. We have a ton of stuff to open up, go over, and parts have just been steadily coming in that have just been kind of waiting to get. So we got a lot of stuff to go over in this video, a lot of stuff to open up, a lot of sweet stuff coming. A lot of sweet stuff coming, guys. It's getting close. It's getting close. So we got a lot of stuff. Make sure you guys stay tuned to the whole video here. As you can see, we got a big box hiding in the background. We got the American Force 22s that are gonna be going back on the truck at some point today, because by the end of the day, the goal is to have this thing looking like a truck again, not a project. So that's what's on the menu for this evening. The forecast actually said it was supposed to snow again here, which I'm done. I'm done with winter. It can stop anytime now. We can get back to all of the fun outside activities. The roads are still just blasted with salt. So, you know, it's no fun. It's no fun. So one last thing before we open up that box, I apologize. But when I say welcome back, it's funny. The days that I don't film and take off, or you know, the days I don't post a video, which was yesterday, it feels like a week or two since, you know, I talk to you guys, communicate with you guys, and post a video. It feels like a damn week. But yesterday we took off. We were finalizing the wrenchwork stuff for the spring launch coming very soon. I'm gonna say a couple weeks, maybe definitely before the first call out challenge at the end of April. Wrenchworks is going to be launching again, doing another giveaway. Like I mentioned, I just want to keep reminding you guys, make sure it's on your maps. We're going to be giving away a bunch of cash, a bunch of air dogs probably. So it's going to be sweet. There's going to be a ton of cool new stuff coming out, and we'll all probably have it all at the call out challenge most likely. So just want to let you guys know about that. All right, let's get into the first box. Alrighty, so if you hadn't guessed it by now, even maybe from the title, we're going to be installing our airbags, which I mentioned that we are going to be putting on this, because we actually do have, obviously this truck's been lowered before, it's missing some springs, some overload, so we're going to use airbags to give us some assistance. So first step is actually already done on this truck. It's removing the factory bump stops, which go right underneath here, just 2 bolts on the underside. Underneath there, you got to remove those to install these bags. That's already done. But this is a Firestone Ride Right kit. Here is the number right here. As you can see, this does fit 25 3500s 03 to 12 gas and diesel. So there are some differences and some stuff built into this kit that we won't be using or applying, but for the most part, this is almost the exact same kit that has been on my tow rig for the last probably 7 years. And I haven't had, I have not had a single problem with this kit. So not only do I like this kit, I can just tell you by the way it looks, you know, everything else, I can tell you firsthand that this kit works. It works well. I really do like it. Now, one thing that I'm going to pop outside and show you guys, I've actually shown you this before, maybe I'll just show you on here. Now, maybe I should show you guys this once everything's installed. You guys can see it a little bit better, but my traction bars are welded right here. Now there's a clamp that comes down that holds part of this kit that pretty much comes down in the same area. So what I've done a little differently, and it probably doesn't make sense to show you guys this now, but I've welded a certain piece, and we'll get to that, that will help you guys if you do have, like, say, weld-on traction bars and you still want to run airbags, how I've done that before on my tow rig. So my tow rig, and we'll go out there and take a look at it, my tow rig has traction bars, airbags, everything fits, everything works, and it works well. So again, this kit, I can tell you firsthand, it works, it does well. This came from, as always, our man Mikey G, down in the description. If you guys need this kit, he got this kit. It was only 2 days out. And this is relatively the cheapest, most entry-level stuff. Obviously, there's no compressor, there's no wireless. You can really go crazy with airbags nowadays, and there's tons of different kits and controllers. This is your basic, no compressor, have some airline. Usually when I tow, I know I'm going to be towing, and if I don't, I have a little carry-on compressor that I plug into my cigarette lighter that was like 20 bucks instead of adding a $700-800 kit. So I'll show you guys how that works at the end here, how I usually go about doing it. Let's stop talking about it. Let's get to doing it. So if you're gonna buy the kit and you kind of need this, the instruction manual is very, very good, very detailed, but we got our bolt in the bottom here that holds the airbag on our little base plate here. Got our air fitting that is right here. Basically, this is now gonna go right underneath of our bracket here, which again, take the old bump stop out, put this bracket in, and yes, I already broke a bolt off, so I had to go get a substitute. We have plenty of bolts here, so put another bolt in. If you guys are wondering what that odd bolt there is, yeah, we broke one off, so go figure. You can't over tighten these, otherwise they snap. So got those all tightened up underneath, and now we're at the point where this part is going to go back on the axle, and we're going to tighten everything up. We're gonna tighten them with our new wrench, but kind of limited access space to get in here and get that in the groove. So just so you know, I was gonna use this, but we had no space, so I had to use a normal wrench to tighten that up. We are officially done, ready to go. We got the plug that we're waiting for on our fuel sender, seeing that we're not using this outlet. I actually got a question about these. All I did was get bulkhead fittings with 90s, Jeg Summit. They're just vibrant, normal fittings, but they're threaded on the bottom. That way a nut can go on the bottom. Just drilled out the hole size and took out those plastic pieces. I think that was in an episode further back, but those are just bulkhead fittings. We're gonna cap this one off. We're not using it. This is the one from our engine. Like I said, this is all wrapped up. Airbags are done and ready for really the hose, but we're gonna put the bed back on before we do that. So we have our nut that kind of sucks down the top and keeps it against this bracket. We have our compression fitting here for the air hose, and everything is tight on the bottom. We tightened up the bolt on the bottom bracket here, and we put our little mini U-bolts that are kind of right like that. Those go right on the bottom here, just kind of hold that bottom bracket in place. This bracket is actually tied into the inside diameter of those U-bolts. It's kind of like U-shaped, so it sits behind those U-bolts, so it can't really go anywhere. And that is where we are going to leave off until we get the bed back on. But all that's really left with the airbag installation again is just running the lines. I'll probably run one line back here, one line back here, tee them together, have one little piece where you can fill them up both equally at the same time. I know we're going to get somebody who's going to say, well, why wouldn't you run them individually? Well, let's just put it this way. If you have a problem with one, would you really ride with the other one at full height and full, like if you have a problem with one and it goes down or whatever, are you really going to leave the other one together? So tying them together, in my opinion, is not really an issue, but that's how I do it. You can do it however you want to do it. And that's that. We are going to put the bed on. We have our little hoist jammy here. Got it all strapped up. And we're gonna roll it over. Hopefully it doesn't tip over. And then we're good. Hi, Mark. Mark's giving us a hand today again, because Mark's the man. But yeah, we're gonna get the bed situated, plop her back on. Yes. Alrighty guys, probably been a little bit since we spoke last, but oh yes, we have the wheels. They are back on. We're missing some lug nuts. We actually brought some lug nuts up to Coker Chassis last time we were up there, and I left them up there, so we only got 4 on each wheel, but good enough to put them back on. Man, does it start to look like a truck again. Oh yes, it is looking good. But we got the airbags on. We got the airbags pretty much 90% done. I went back over, if you remember, we never torqued down all of the bolts for the hitch, so those are all torqued. They actually do give you a torque spec on every bolt besides the 2 that have the little U-bolt that sandwich is behind here. Those are 60 foot-pounds. Everything else on this entire hitch is 80 foot-pounds. So we got them all torqued. Everything's wrapped up with the air dog on this side. Pretty much ready to put our fender well liners back in, which, by the way, I did try. Usually I order them from eBay. They are a Mopar part number for those inner rear fender liners. I'm going to try and find those. Maybe by the time this video goes up, I'll put the link down in the description to go check them out. But either way, we're looking good. I'm pumped. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, this is just one step closer, just looking more like a complete picture. Still quite a bit of work to do, but it looks like it came 10 miles in this video alone, just putting the bed and the wheels and tires back on. But the hitch hole came out 100% perfect. Super happy with that. Looks great. We'll get the other holes drilled for the safety chains, but other than that, it doesn't look like we're gonna have to do some refabrication on the trans cooler. We might even have to move it back a little bit further. Like I was mentioning, the hitch is pretty much right exactly dead nuts in the way. So we'll have to mess around with that. We did actually get in our one transmission cross member piece. Move that out of the way, move this out of the way. This bench is getting extremely, extremely messy. We actually had to get this from the dealer. I couldn't find it anywhere else. But this is the bottom plate that goes on the bottom of the 48s. Goes like voila, like that, bolts like that, and then there's actually another piece that I ordered, not from the dealer, that was supposed to be in today, that never showed up, so I'm gonna have to get a hold of them tomorrow, give them a ring. There's the actual trans bushing piece sits in this part and then goes to the cross member. So once that comes in, it's game on with the transfer case. Mark keeps yelling at me that I have to paint that black so it doesn't look completely like crap, so we'll have to do that. But yeah, more interesting engine stuff coming in tomorrow's video. I actually had a couple more things to unbox that we're not even going to get to because it is almost 11 o'clock and it's time for Greg to go home. Anyway guys, that's going to do it for this video. Give me a big thumbs up if you're pumped. Look at that beast. Oh, it's going to be sweet. It's going to be sweet. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hit that like button before you leave. Subscribe if you have not already. See you tomorrow.